back.
Here we are, ready
Yeah.
to talk about update 10, Uncharted Lands.
Uncharted Lands. Sorry.
Where did that come from? First thing we need to do, as usual, is to show the roadmap.
Yes. There it is.
There it is.
So beautiful.
Uncharted Lands, right in the middle. Like,
Yep.
let's just here. Yeah, it's here.
Yeah.
So I also, while I was preparing the talking points for the stream, I also realized that it was almost exactly 1 year ago, the first time I played. Like, it's actually tomorrow.
Oh.
The first, like, my anniversary with surviving after the time that I actually sat down and played the game.
Yeah.
Like, you know, while I was joining Paradox, they told me about the game, but then I couldn't ever played it. And like, then 1 year ago, I played it and was like, that looks already pretty great.
Yeah.
Like, that's almost done. And then I look at where the game is now and say, we went a long way, guys. But yeah, so the main hook, the main thing that's coming with this update is a further iteration of the very early game experiences that we introduced with the last update.
Yep.
As you can see, we have introduced a fog of war feature right now. So you still start off with the 3 specialists, and the beginning is very much similar to the last update, but right now you cannot actually see, well, you can see a little bit of the trees and everything like that, but you cannot see, for example, where all the deposits are or anything like that. So what you actually need to do is you will need to select one of your specialists, and I'm just going to take Raj over here, and you need to command them to come over here. Let's just speed it up a little bit. And as you can see, as Raj moves towards the fog, it starts getting cleared, and you're starting to discover all the deposits and everything like that. Better do this pretty, thoroughly. And also you want to make sure that you do not just run into the middle of the map, because wild animals are going to be in the fog hidden. So they can jump out at you from anywhere.
I love how happy you sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we just wanted to make, give some more feeling to the beginning of it. And also because we did receive quite a few reports about, people not really understanding the beginning of it. Obviously, before you had the colonists already there, and now all of a sudden you only had 3 specialists. So that could easily feel a little bit like who's going to do what's going to happen. So we also added these starting events here. So, clicking on them, you get this pop-up, and it gives you a little bit of the lore itself. And also it tells you what to do and how to start playing the game now. So let's just add in the campsite, and I'm just gonna command these guys to work. And while they're working at it, I do want to bring your attention to this specialist menu that we have in the top here. So this was added to help you guys with, playing the game. So you can choose a specialist from here, and that will immediately select that specialist. And, then you can just command them as normal. Or you can also kind of see, if you're highlighting one of them with the box selection, you can see which specialist this guy is. Or if you do this, you can also already see that it's Kate and Satoshi over there. They're getting highlighted. So this is here really to help just, help with the navigation and everything, so that you don't actually have to manually click on each one of them. So
This is when I wish we would have had like a super cut of every time you've been looking for the specialists in this streaming series.
So this is another one of the beginning events. So pressing on this, you can choose either to continue preparing, or you can invite colonists. Pressing this does the exact same thing as shoot the player from the campsite. Obviously that's up to the player themselves. If they feel like they still want to just prepare a little bit, continue preparing, the event goes off. It will return in about a day of the game time itself. But obviously you can of course just always select the campsite and choose shoot the player to get the colonists in. I am just let's do one of the water wells. I'm also just going to point out that we received a few reports of a situation where you would get a water shortage notification, even though you had exactly 12 units of water and 12 colonists. We have fixed that, so that should no longer happen anymore, at least. Let's hope so. should be fixed. Gate built, almost there. Yes. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to send Raj over to the world map. And as you can now see, his portrait turned gray. So this is something that'll tell you who's where exactly. So every time you're in a specific view, the ones who are in the same view as you are on the left. So in this case, Kate and Satoshi are in the colony. So they are here. Raj is in the world map, so he's at the right side. So if we would have full tennis specialists, then Raj would be somewhere closer to here, obviously depending on who's where. And if you select Raj, you will actually be transported to that view. Again, selecting Satoshi over here, you get back to the colony, so you'll know exactly where they are. So this should as well help a lot with everything, you know, managing the specialists and everything. And if you are playing on the controller, this is now the Y button that will move you to this selection menu, and then you can move around and select them from there. And this is a big change because previously the Y button, pressing it would actually access the notifications. So keep that in mind if you are playing on the controller. The notifications are right now on the left bumper button, and then the cockroach icon is on the right bumper icon. So these have changed as well.
That was the first change, and like one of the things they wanted to show you. But we also want to talk about the energy system, because the energy system has also been revamped.
In essence, the energy system, it still in a way functions the same. You still have your same producers, your same storages and everything like, and your same consumers. But what we've added now are distributors. So kind of similar to the water system. If you guys remember, you have to have a, I'm just gonna unpause the game so we get rid of the floaters here. So with the water system, you know, you have to have a water tower close to the buildings that require water. So this is a really good example here. You can see these buildings, they need water, so you need to have a water tower here. So now with the energy system, you will need to have a new building called the transformer close to your energy buildings. So for example, right now, here is a garage. Of course, it uses energy, so it needs to be close to a transformer, or otherwise it is not getting power from anywhere. So right here is an insect farm. It is not close enough to any transformers, so it is not actually functioning properly. So that's the biggest change. So you guys know this kind of game mechanic from the water system. Well, what you don't have with the water system is that the energy system itself needs to have either an energy storage building or an energy producing building inside the same grid as well. So in this case, this transformer has an battery rack here close to it. So because of that, this can actually provide energy to this garage. But if you have a transformer only and there's no battery racks or any kind of energy producing buildings, it will not work. It requires that. Or the other thing, which I think is super cool, I am so into this, is that if you build two transformers close to each other, so let's do this, they will actually form an energy grid. So I'm just gonna put this right here in the middle of the road where it's so pretty. And once I have my colonists building it, they're bringing the resources here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So once this gets built, it will also be powered because of these grids that are or these worker areas that are actually overlapping each other. So of course, this will also have the battery rack right here. So it would get power from that as well. But if I'm gonna actually demolish this. Just gonna get rid of those things. So as you can see, this transformer now doesn't have an energy source, but because this transformer has this one, and it is overlapping with this work area, and then this work area is overlapping with this, they all get powered. So as long as either your work area is overlapping with another functional transformer, or there's an energy source or a battery rack or anything like that in it, then your energy consuming buildings will work normally. So this is a whole new system, and I personally find this really cool because it's an actual energy grid. But what this also does is it'll help you control the energy consumption. So if you pause this, it'll actually pause everything that's happening here. So right now, this guy's not getting any energy because this guy isn't producing it. So or distributing it. So it's also a really good way to control all of your energy buildings. So then again, resuming it, and everything is powered again. So this should help with like catastrophes and situations where everything is on fire and you just need energy to be in a specific place. So yeah, hope you guys like it. The one main thing also is that if you have energy producing buildings like wind turbines or anything like that, they don't necessarily need to be within this work area for them to actually produce energy. So if you have a wind turbine, let's say we would have one here where there's nothing else, it is still producing energy to the colony. But if you have a battery rack in, you know, whichever place you want to build them, and they are not close to a distributor, so a transformer, then they are essentially just worthless. They are not storing the energy because they can't actually use it for anything. So you get them from the production tech tree from wind power or from solar power. So essentially when you would get your first energy producing building anyway. So that's when you get them unlocked.
With this update also, there are a bunch of improved graphics updates that are coming. So maybe we can talk a little bit about that.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, you mentioned tech tree, so let's do that first. So the tech tree itself, it looks kind of similar, but we've revamped some of the things. And also what you can notice now is just hovering over the text, you can see already the details of them. And now if you hover over to the whatever is the effect of that tech, you can see more details of it. This was partially because some of the texts had so many things that they were unlocking that they weren't really fitting the screen. Industrial mining much, because all of these were details here and it was just filling up the screen. So now if you want to know what's happening with that tech, you can. But at the same time, it's a lot easier. I'm gonna check if we have, yes, we do. So we've also redone the all of the arrows over here. So as you can see, there's some cool little animations going on. This is still gonna change a little bit. We are still making some adjustments and stuff that I can't talk about, but at least personally, I think it looks so much better than it did before. We have put in a lot of work, and I mean, I have to give full credits to the art department for this. We've revamped so much of the graphics, and I personally think that it just looks amazing. Yep. It's just all the details and everything like that. And actually talking about the details, we have also added a setting to your graphics. So I'm just gonna show it from here. So rendering resolution scale. So you have, I believe it's from 10 to 200% of the rendering resolution scale that you can now change. So if you don't have as much of a powerful computer as some people have, you can kind of drop it down a bit, and that should hopefully make the game work a little bit smoother for you. Or if you have a really powerful one, just ramp it up and see all those details. So this was something that was requested from us. So of course we delivered on that, trying to make sure everybody can play the game in all the ways they want to. So that was also added. We've also made some updates on the world map side visually, not as clear as the colony, but still these are all updates that we are working on even more. So stuff is happening.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
One of the changes that I know that's also coming is that colonists are now aging, which is a small little touch. Well, kids were already turning into grown-ups, but aging is now a thing. So can you tell us what's happening there? How do we check aging?
Yeah. So ages, you can see them from the colonist info panel itself. So you can just select them and you can see here age adult. You can't see the exact age, but whenever you get an adult colonist, they will have a certain amount of time until they turn into elders. And then unfortunately, as in real life, elders can die of old age. So this is partially something that we wanted to bring out already earlier, but didn't really have the chance. So it's all about, managing your colony. And I think this is something that has been brought up in the forums as well, and through other sources of feedback, like why are they colonists not dying of old age and everything like that. So we decided to add that in. But again, since it is a death, you will get a notification about it. So it will say actually like person X, colonist X, died, and they died of old age. So you will know whenever somebody dies of old age. You will also know when they become an elder, because you will get a notification about that as well, just like before you would get a notification about kids growing up as adults. And another thing related to this that we added in is you will now get a notification every time a child is born as well. So this was previously not visible for players because the kids weren't, the age in itself wasn't that big of a thing. It was more about when you get them as adults. But so that has been added into the game as well. So, and another way you can just like quickly check is your colonist tab in the statistics. So you can see the age here. So we have mostly adults here. Do we have any elders? Apparently not. We do not have. We have one kid. This is a really strange colony.
Can I get this population for my colony? One child, no, all adults, all able to work.
Okay. Everyone knows that when you're playing the game, it's just people coming and they're like, "Hey, can we be part of the colony?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." And then, let's raid it. Also, here's the kids. Take care of the kids. Let's raid it. Wow. Every time.
So, let's see. We have a survivor group here. And as you can see, we've added elders into the survivor groups as well. So there's one elder here. Let's accept these guys. So as you can see right now, Luke is over here. He is an elder. So right now you can see elder over here. Contaminated food. So all food will now have a pollution value to them, which you can see by going, for example, I'm just going to go through here because this is one of the quickest way to see the descriptions. So it is in their descriptions. Again, it's something that will affect the colonists when they eat the food. So if it is something that is high in pollution, they can get radiation sickness easier because essentially they are eating in the radiation. Now, the important thing to keep in mind is that the colonists will not prioritize low pollution food over high pollution food. Instead, they are looking at the nutritional values. So they want to make sure they do not get malnourished. So that's their priority. So this is something that now you got to really start looking into and making sure that you're not giving them only pollution that has high levels of pollution. But the big thing is that venison has a very high pollution rate.
Yep.
And as we all know, in the beginning, venison is actually pretty crucial. So you're gonna want to start making those cookhouses pretty quickly.
So I also know, for example, that the ranch can also be polluted now.
Yes.
And then, so basically, if the ranch gets polluted, the animal breeding will stop until you clear out the... And I was wondering, so will have like a contaminated field crop also affect the yield that you get out of it? Like if my potatoes are in a contaminated field, will I get the really polluted potatoes?
No, you're still gonna get potatoes. You're still gonna get the regular potatoes from it, and their pollution value is not gonna change.
Okay.
But the pollution does already previously did this. So you will get a smaller amount of it. So the pollution affects the yield itself, the amount of it. So that's why you want to make sure that your ranches
So I get less potatoes and no fun potatoes.
Yes.
Less potatoes, and they're still medium.
Yeah. And actually, talking about the ranch, we've also added in a new food resource called... Actually, I just realized. Yes. I started thinking about if I can actually reveal this in detail or not.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
So
Doesn't matter.
So
let's reveal it.
There should be food coming in from the ranch that is a bit different from there right now. I don't want to butcher this only animal from here. Yes, now we can do this. Let's see if we can get it. Where is the worker? Yes, they are there. And now we have prime meat coming in from the ranches. So this is essentially similar to the venison, but this is a lot less polluted. So you actually really do want to get to ranching pretty quickly now to help with the whole pollution and, malnutrition situation and everything like that. So
cool.
Ranches are really a big thing right now.
Thanks everybody for joining. For today, this is all. The update comes in a couple of days on Thursday. We hope you enjoy it. Let us know what you think. And until then, we see you next week for the next weekly stream.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.